So, welcome to lower bracket elimination between OG and Team Spirit. We are, of course, best of 3. Draft almost already complete. Had a little bit of issues getting into Dota TV, but we are in now. So, quickly looking at the bans coming out from OG. Actually, the Mars banned first against Team Spirit, so obviously feeling that Collapse's Mars is very, very impactful, so they want to get rid of that. Big Teamfight Ultimates getting rid of. The Tidehunter, the Kunkka, Jug, and Terrorblade, very targeted bans towards your Toro. On the side of Team Spirit, they immediately got rid of the Monkey King and the Io, allowing OG to have the Tiny. And then following up with the ET bans, which has been high priority. Templar Assassin, Sumail's been playing a little bit safe lane, and the Morphling. Now with the picks so far, it looks like OG is going to be running this Tiny safe lane, at least mid or safe lane, with the Darkseer being picked up, most likely played by Seb. Actually, they're 4 and 5, the Clockwork and the Nature's Prophet. Probably be a 5 Nature's Prophet played by No-Tail. He has done that a fair bit in the past. And Saxa is a little bit of a baller on the clock, so no doubt he'll be picking that up. Team Spirit have gone with the immediate counter to the strength-based hero with the Winter Wyvern, percentage-based damage. It doesn't look like it's going to be a core Winter Wyvern. I'm still waiting for it to counter this core Tiny. If we get the core Winter Wyvern, that will be a day. Magnus picked most likely for the offlane for Collapse. Lion probably going to be the pause for rush that Blink Dagger, get a little bit of initiation to help out the Ember and the Magnus. And Toronto Tokyo will be taking the Ember mid. So Miposhka probably most likely playing that Winter Wyvern as the 5. More carries being banned out on the side of OG, Lifestealer and Ursa. And Dawnbreaker is going to be banned on the side of Team Spirit. One ban remaining for Team Spirit. Minute 21 left of reserve time, so plenty of time to think. They're looking at OG now, and they're now banning the offlane, so they were working under the assumption with the TA and Morphling bans that this Tiny was not going to be core. That thought process has changed. Now they're thinking about what are we potentially banning out against Thompson. And they do go with the Invoker. Lots of control with the Clock and the Darkseer, and in fact the Sprout just as an AoE target, which can actually lock down BKB heroes if it's ground targeted. So Thompson Invoker doesn't want anyone just buffing up the Tiny. So OG will have their last pick. They want a hero that can move quickly around the map with the Clock and the Nature's Prophet. It will be the Void Spirit. And here we are again. Ember Spirit picked, Void Spirit to counter. It is almost 100%. I think in the games I've casted at TI, I think there has been one game where when an Ember has been picked, another Ember wasn't picked in reply. So you want to pick a Spirit, you need to pick a Spirit to counter that movability and get that burst and lockdown. And both of these heroes are now very strong late game. You get the Dissimulate stun talent on Void Spirit and you are just beasting it at level 25. You have so much stun and control combined with the other Ember. Ember Spirit, you get that refresher and even maybe a refresher shard from Ross when we saw it yesterday. And it was an Ember that had, I believe, like 18 remnants. Yeah, of course having the Ags as well. The double refresher on the Ember Spirit, and he was just remnanting all over the place, and the back lines did not have a chance. But pause 1 to be picked. Of course, many have been banned out. Perhaps Slark? No, it is the Faceless Void. Faceless Void, very good with the Empower, buffing up his damage, but his farm potential as well quite early. The Empower also super good on Toronto Tokyo with the Sleight of Fist. Of course, the Battle Fury build has gone very much out of popularity on the Ember Spirit, and it's sort of something that's nice but not essential. The Maelstrom now is probably the better fighting item that still provides the same ability to farm, but with the Empower on the Ember Spirit, probably picking up a Maelstrom as well, that's very, very dangerous, particularly around potentially Nature's Prophet's treants. Getting that additional cleave off those treants and dealing damage to either No-Tail or whoever else is around those treants is going to deal additional damage to the heroes. So it is a Mirror 4 on the line, and Miposhka will be playing the Wyvern as 5. Of course, Mirror. Don't know what he prefers as his tag. He has got his Mirror in game right now, so you can assume that's what he prefers instead of the full Mirror Slaw. But we'll stick with Mirror. A little bit easy to say as well. So apologies if that's just a mistake on the branding, but we'll go with what is being shown to us. Sarksa, of course, did pick up that Clockwork, and throughout the DPC, I do remember quite a few of the Reddit threads showing Sarksa beasting it up on the Clockwork, really creating a lot of control and space with that hero. Okay, let's quickly do our predictions.
With me.
Yeah, I don't think I can go against the Tiny.
You've been voided. You've been voided.
Lose together, win together, slay together, slay together.
Okay, so this is OG Dota coming out through the top lane and their triangle. We know that these guys love to play aggressive right from the get-go. Team Spirit, though, are smoked up. Line actually doesn't have an OBS. They've actually placed both of their OBS, one on the high ground to the south in the river, another one to the high ground or around the shrine to the top. Smoke does come to naught, but OG just played it safe up on the high ground, and this is actually a little bit different from OG. I guess because they do have the Nature's Prophet who wants to get that extra value from the mana to get the treants coming out closer to the rune spawns, that they were just being a little bit more hesitant with the aggressive movements. And to be fair, they're level 1. I mean, it can fight well, but you sort of want it to be enabled a little bit more by the level 2 on a lot of these heroes. OG looking to get, they will just get the 2 runes. Going 2 runes each. They were contesting this top one, but Miposhka does level up the Arctic Burn, getting out some early damage against Sarksa, of course, strength hero. Sarksa hasn't leveled anything yet. Is going to try and just bully Miposhka away. He does have a wind lace, so he is a lot faster. But he'll decide he just wants to head. No, he's going to keep Miposhka guessing. Is he going to juke around the trees, perhaps? Miposhka does have the ward there. So, in the bot lane, No-Tail on his Nature's Prophet, POS 5 support up against Mira on the line, collapse on the Magnus, facing off against Sumail playing this POS 1 Tiny. We all know what that means. Top lane, Sarksa going in on Miposhka, is playing the clock this game. Miposhka over on the 5, Winter Wyvern. We're pairing up with Seb, playing this Darkseer 3, and Yatoro for Team Spirit playing the Faceless Void top. In the mid lane, Thompson already getting aggressive over onto Toronto Tokyo's Ember with the Void Spirit. Let's have a look at how the initial early game is going to start playing out. Obviously, these players are very proficient in the lane. Seb just throwing that Iron Shell out on the creep just to try and push the lane a little bit more, make it a little more difficult for Yataro. He's going to take a bit of damage from the Iron Shell. Iron Shell up on Seb as well, so Yataro, that's double Iron Shell. You need to be a little bit careful there. Notal, very strong with the Nature's Prophet level 1 with the Treants, can obviously pretty much bully any other support in the lane, most other heroes in the lane at level 1 with the Treants. Saxa did look like he pulled away behind the tower just to get that level 2, so he doesn't level the battery assault yet. Might just hold the skill point in the flare in case he wants to cancel a salve or a clarity. Obviously that's exceptional value. Water runes have spawned. Toronto Tokyo has got his bottle out, so does Topson, so each will claim a water rune each side, top themselves up before they pick it up, all the way back to full. Top lane Mira. Nature's Prophet Treants are just pushing him down. Here you gotta be careful. The Treants hit hard. Collapse. Still with no level in the Empower. Smail, level 1 in Avalanche. And early items, just looking to come out onto the Clockwork. Oh, no tail bottom. Actually getting skewered. The stun's going to come out. The last right click coming in from Mira will get the first blood as well as the courier kill as well. Mira on his lion. Styling over No Tail. Seb just still moving top with the level 1 in the Surge. How did... Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, okay. Makes a lot more sense. Thought Naposhka just died to a creep with the Iron Shell on. Of course, dying a long way away from where Seb was. Collapse still without the level in the Empower. Happily still farming it up. Sasuke is mid with the Flare. Without the cogs, probably can't do a whole lot against Toronto Tokyo. They are just fighting for the runes. Topson with the Remnant and the pull, looking to get onto Toronto Tokyo. They have the battery assault. Stun will come out from Mira just to protect Toronto Tokyo, and who will make it away. Bottle room will go each way for the mids. Topson getting very aggressive over Toronto Tokyo, level 2 in the Resonant Pulse and Dissimulate. Normally I've seen Void Spirits just fully max out the Resonant Pulse, but Topson wants to have a little more value out of that Dissimulate. Yataro, level 2 in the Bash. No Bash command just yet. Collapse now does grab the 2 levels in the Empower that he's level 4 and able to start clearing out these Treants. And No Tail's aggressive potential in this lane will start to become quite stifled now that those Treants can be cleared very easily. Saxa going in with the Battery Assault and the Surge with the Iron Shell on top of him. Yatoro, no jump for 3 seconds. Will get the Bash. He's once again safe. Kills happen everywhere. Team Spirit getting on top of No Tail bottom. Just look like a simple stun. Simple Hex with the Skewer as well. I mean, it's not hurting OG too much. I mean, they are still leading the net worth at the moment, even with a few bled kills early on in the game. No Tail TPing and dropping the Obs Ward nice and deep. They might actually know that it's there. Mira might just sense that an Obs was dropped. Why else would No Tail be TPing in here to grab the Nature's Treants?
I thank you. Money changes hands.
Collapse playing a little bit low, only on 300 HP. No Tail's coming across. He does have a level in the Skewer, but not really enough mana over on Smail to get the combo. Tree Toss will come out, but Collapse will just be fine. Is there any regen online though? Collapse will have to TP home. Saksa commuting with the battery assault top, but Yutaro and Miposhka managed to get away safely. So, looking at our early last hit count, Void Spirit leading with 53, but Ember's having 48. Certainly no stomps on this lane early. Certainly in other games we've seen some mid laners easily outperform the others, though Thompson's in trouble. He has to jump away. Toronto Tokyo did have some more bottle charges, but no more. He had one remnant. He could have committed there, perhaps. Could have committed, but decided it's a little bit too risky. In terms of the safe loners, 42 and 41. This game right now probably couldn't be more even, except for the fact that this tier 1 tower will go down to Toronto Tokyo under the effect of the DD. Thompson actually maxing the dissimilate. Trying to get that cooldown. Obviously being able to live is more important than dying. With the remnant, getting a few more hits in. Will commit. There are 2 bottle charges and enough to get the remnant out if he needs to be safely away. Orbital Corrosion over on Toronto Tokyo with the maxed out Sleight of Fist, going to deal as much damage as possible. Haste going to be picked up by Thompson. Bottom lane, No Tail is going to be in trouble. Toronto Tokyo is coming across. He does have the Sleight of Fist plus the chains. But who's going to go down first? Will Mira get caught? He will TP out just in time. Thompson on the hunt of Toronto Tokyo right now. Seb has come down, but no wall, only level 1 vacuum. It's just really a presence at this point in the match rather than any real impact. Saksa is being given some space top to try and get to that level 6. With the Tranquils, he is quite survivable in this top lane with the Wand as well. Got a couple of mangoes, so happy to start putting a little bit pressure onto Yutaro in the lane. No Tail, he's run across the level 8 Ember. There is... looks like Miposhka and Mira are moving bottom, both level 4, sitting behind this Magnus that now has the RP. So looking to make some sort of movement out of this timing on the Magnus. Sumail is coming back bottom, level 8, 1600 HP is very hard to kill. So he'll be coming here bottom, stopping any of this push, and without the level 6s on the supports, I don't think they can actually really do much to Sumail. Easily cleans up the creep wave with the tree toss and stifles any sort of idea of a push. Hobson doesn't have the tier 1 tower, so he does need to be a little bit careful, but Toronto Tokyo just gets a little bit creep blocked and will have to back away.
This reward transcends
Hobson slowly getting just beat down with the Sleight of Fist. He's down to 400 HP. Here comes another Sleight of Fist, just keeping the pressure on him. No, decides not to with the pulse block up. But No Tail with the Treants, level 2, has moved top to try and continue the push. Seb's going to cut the wave, and of course there is a catapult coming for the side of Radiant. Here it is here. But this is just going to be a trade for bottom as Team Spirit do the same on the bottom side of the map. No Tail will get the last hit. Bottom, Yutaro will get the same. So, evenly split for the cause. Let's switch over to our net worth. And we can actually see that OG are just on top a little bit. Only by 100 or 200 gold on their cause. Seb actually leading the net worth. Iron Shell does wonders in farming neutrals. The smoke comes out. We do have level 6 on the clock. This is a very strong timing. Wall and mech are available over on Seb. Thompson with the Yules. It's a very strong timing for OG right now. They want to find a catch. It's not really Toronto Tokyo. He can just remnant away, waste the time of OG. Mira's still in the vicinity. They're trying to take Ancients, and not only are they taking them, they are with the maxed out Empower. They can easily get that kill on the Ancients. But OG, maybe this was the plan all along. Smoke around, get in good position, and just put pressure onto the tier 1 tower. Collapse has been caught under the wall. Hook comes out, and the Cogs catching Ember inside. Toronto Tokyo, out comes Faceless Void ulti and the finger. Getting down Seb, RP onto Saxa. He's caught as well. And in the middle of all this is Thompson. No Tail will get caught with slight chains, and it will be a 4-4-0. No Tail not being in that fight, and it looks like OG just bit off a little more than they could chew right then. This is big, bad, No Tail, Tiny. 2,200 HP. Does have the level 10 talent of plus 10 strength. This guy is already a beast with the Echo Saber. He could probably, with probably a +1, pretty much take down anyone over on the side of Team Spirit. Trying to find Yatoro now that the Chronosphere is down. Thompson finds him with the Yules, going to have the Remnant to hold him afterwards. Sarkis is there. Will they have the follow-up burst? They do. Vacuum will secure it. And Collapse is TP'd in. They will cancel the next TP. Iron Shell over on Thompson. With the bottle, he's got plenty of mana. Maposhka is level 6. Plants the wood. Does see them there. Thompson, he's probably going to go in. Yes, he does. Doesn't get the catch over on Maposhka. But Sumail, while this is happening, he's just beating on this tier 1, and Thompson comes over with the yoink. Thank you, Sumail. I definitely wanted that gold. Thank you for doing all the work for me. Mira's progress towards Blink. About 1,000 gold away, not too far. Collapse, actually a little further away from the Blink than the Lion. Of course, he did stop off for the Meta Boots and the mech on the way. Thompson's next item looks like it's going to be the Kyra and Sanj. Sanj and Kyra. And Sumail is going, of course, into the Shadow Amulet, the Shadow Blade, and will work towards that Silver Edge. Toronto Tokyo needs to be careful. There's a lot of burst on Sumail. Thompson looking to try and find a catch, but he still has 3 remnants. And with the Maelstrom up over on Toronto Tokyo, deals a lot of damage in the fights with the maxed out Sleight of Fist. And can obviously farm side lanes and creep cans very quickly. Saxa looking for a jump with the hook. He sees Collapse. Won't have enough to solo him himself. Lion is really the target that Saxa wants to get onto. Lion at the moment doesn't have any way to save himself. And even if he does get that blink, still no way to save himself if he does get caught. All of the other heroes on the side of Team Spirit, the Void, the Wyvern, the Magnus, even the Ember, all sort of have innate ways to get out of the cogs. So if he's going for that solo kill, Lion is the target. Of course, you can use the cogs just to get that follow-up control, which is how you probably use it against heroes like Yatoro or Collapse. I mean, both heroes, both cores in this game having that steroid from the cleave. Obviously Tiny just with the tree grab, but the cleave being given over to Yatoro by the Magnus. Once again, Toronto Tokyo not really ever under threat. Just looking to push out the lanes and force someone from OG to come deal with him. And then he can just quickly remnant away and no harm will be done. Mira, Collapse, you winking those. It's actually getting quite close to the blink, 460 gold away. Saxa scouting out with the rocket, does see the haste. He'll probably just run over and grab that one, stopping Toronto Tokyo from getting in the river. Sumail now does have the Shadow Blade. Obviously, apart from the invisibility, plus 25 damage, plus 35 attack speed. Stats on that item. And Seb does have the Greaves. Greaves with the casual cloak, I like it. Very much like the casual cloak. And is now then looking for the blink dagger. So he wants to be able to counter initiate on the Darkseer. And that blink can probably time a little bit with the max stat vacuum and the level 15 talent. Then that will be a very strong timing for Seb and OG. Double TP top. They know Topson is here. Perhaps looking to bait a little bit. They do have Finger and Curse. Does Topson know that Toronto Tokyo has support? They know he's here. They saw that assimilate. Will they blind stun? Hex is available. Going in on to Mirror. Hex does come out with the Winter's Curse. They're going to be able to follow up with the stun. Finger will be there as well, and he will go down to Toronto's Tokyo Sleight of Fist. But that was a lot of movement for Topson. I'm sure he doesn't want to die there. In fact, he's sitting wallowing towards the bottom of the net worth in terms of the cause. But Sumail is the one that they're trying to prioritize his farm for, and he's not slowing down. Actually having the Brigand's Blade as well for that additional little bit of burst. Thank you Fruitbat22 for the follow. Hope you enjoy the stream. We're watching OG up against Team Spirit in the lower bracket elimination match. Best of 3. Saxa just try and clear out this top wave. Team Spirit not knowing if there's anyone else really sitting behind him at the moment. He's positioning pretty aggressively. They might just decide he is by himself. The Saxa will back off fast enough. Yutaro with the Mask of Madness and the Maelstrom moving into the BKB next, wanting to be able to fight and get a lot of damage off in the Chronosphere. Saxa did hang around for a little bit too long there at top and will go down to the side of Team Spirit. But they forced the entire team up into that top corner, which is a place you sort of don't want to be on the side of Team Spirit. Smail going for the BKB timing as well. Should actually come out a little bit earlier than Yatoro on the Faceless Void. And Notal, sitting with the Solar Crest, wants to buff up Smail as much as possible, make him the front liner, make him that strong core that can pretty much carry the game for them all the way to however long this game needs to go. Seb decided to change his build. Did have the blink queued up, but now looks like he's changed it. Actually going for the Crimson now. He's changed it 3 times in 10 seconds. Collapse moving bottom with the blink, RP. Yatoro here as well with the Chronosphere, and they will look like they'll get on top of Seb. Does the Greaves comes out, he's going to perhaps force a Chronosphere, yes he will. The side of OG are coming over, will they be fast enough? Rocket Flare coming in, and just a little too many bashes from Yatoro. OG were very, very close to connecting with that, but now they know there's no Chronosphere. So they are fairly safe to move on the map. Saxa actually pretty close to the Ags. Only 100 gold away. They're actually going to go straight into the Roshan Pit. RP is still available with no Chronosphere. OG feel like they are strong enough to continue pushing the tempo. Solar Crest out on Sumail. Did actually use the tree, so he hasn't got that bonus damage currently. Oh, he doesn't actually have the shard yet. He's got it queued up now. 20 minutes has just ticked over. And it doesn't look like Team Spirit want to make any sort of play at the moment at the Roche Pit, or perhaps don't even know that it's happening. I mean, they don't really have vision over this side of the map. And OG are quite strong around it. Seb did respawn and of course still is sitting on that wall. So Seb has committed towards the Crimson Guard, realizing that really Sleight of Fist, the Void hitting is the primary damage coming out from Team Spirit, and that the Casual Cloak is really enough to help mitigate a little bit of the magic damage. Seb is probably going to get caught top here again. The whole team of Team Spirit are here. Blink comes in, wall is on top, Notal TP's in, stun comes out. Thompson moving in with the Dissimulate, and the Ether Remnant will burst down Miposhka. He will go down. Collapse, uses the RP over on Saksa. Toronto Tokyo with the BKB coming in. Sumal punching away. Doesn't have the tree right now. Toronto Tokyo BKB TPing out, and he will just make it. So, Chronosphere obviously was down. Lion still had the finger, didn't manage to get that one off, and the Wyvern still had the curse, didn't get that one off either. So, OG prioritizing their burst onto the correct heroes to ensure that those big teamfight ultis did not have a chance to come out. Sumail obviously wants that level 20. He's missing not having that permanent tree grab currently. Miposhka does have the ult. Out comes the Winter's Curse. They've caught 2. Collapses here as well. Toronto Tokyo follows up with the chains, but the Yules catching onto Ember. Skewered through. Sumail with the toss, and the Avalanche will blow up Collapse. Now Miposhka's in his firing line as well. Whack, whack, whack. See you later, you're gone. Tower goes down as well. Toronto Tokyo with the chains and the root. He's still alive, but he has the Aegis. Seb running in with the Surge. Fade Grenade coming out. Over on him. Yatoro will run away, but Clog will catch. With the Cogs will follow up. Here comes the burst from Sumail. BKB takes away the damage. Chronosphere to follow up. Down goes Saksa. Catches on the side. Seb, but he's got plenty of survivability. Hex comes out. Sumail still hitting away in the middle of the fight. Will he be able to do it all right now? It doesn't look like he's getting control. Toronto Tokyo not quite going down. The tree grab will get the hit. And Lion will go now as well. Yatara, though, is full HP. Does he have any detection? Smell moving away with the Shadow Blade. Greater Treants. Maybe even be able to body block up a little bit. But it looks like Sumail will get out. There is a regen rune at the bottom if he can manage to find that one, but he'll probably more likely just head back over to the triangle, hit some more creeps, and be just fine. Does now have the shard, so permanent tree grab, getting that permanent cleave and bonus damage. That will drastically improve his right click damage in the fights.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, so OG moving into their jungle body. Sumail will TP in, and they look for the immediate smoke. Saksa leading the way. He has the Ags, so overcharge and ready and available. Toro BKB available, but no Chronosphere. Collapse sitting on an RP. And he'll just immediately caught, stun, toss up, and he disappears. Miposhka being caught on the back line by Thompson. The curse did come out, but they're not going to get any follow-up. Cold Embrace is here, but it's not going to save him from Sumail. Second catch onto Toronto Tokyo with the overclock, and Saksa will be stunned for those 4 seconds, but there's no risk to his life. He'll be fine to move away. Thompson now moving in for the Ags to get that double resonant pulse plus the silence. Either just for the pure burst or for the chain silence against a hero potentially without a BKB. I'm looking at this Wyvern, I'm looking at the Lion. That Ags is going to drastically stop their ability to try and cast any spells in the fight. They find Toronto Tokyo, they do have a hook shot. Saksa wisely just held onto it for an extra moment. Didn't quite have the overclocking available yet. Team Spirit, though, look like they might want to make their own move. Chronosphere is up, no Winter's Curse, but RP is also available. Saksa might just tank this gank. He actually scouts it out. He scouts it. He's going to go in with the 2 men and the follow-up with the Cogs. Wall comes out. Yataro's over onto Notal. Miposhka hitting with the Winter's Curse as well. Toronto Tokyo's popped the BKB, but he's moving away. Sumail looking to try and hit anything at the moment, but he's just being chained up in the middle of the fight. BKB being used by Yataro, but Sumail's still on the hunt. Winter's Curse being used on the solo one. Thompson will look for more though. Will catch Miposhka, and the 2 supports of Team Spirit will go down. But Thompson, he's still chasing. He has the Yules. The vacuum won't be enough to control Yataro for long enough. And the Greater Treants These guys hit. 108 damage. Will he get it? It will go down. No-Tail from the grave with the shard. Sprout Greater Treants. It's actually doing a lot of work around the map. You can't actually sleep on these guys. It does a surprising amount of damage. It tanks the tower hits, allowing other creeps to hit, and they actually do a lot of damage. The additional, what is it like? Let's have a look. Yeah, it's like more than double damage. It's actually closer to triple damage on the Treants. Thompson showing himself, he will get rooted, skewered across. Will they follow up? Will they follow with the RP? He will get instantly stunned and hexed. No need to use the RP. And in fact, it probably would have had a longer cast time anyway than the ground targeted stun from Mira. Always good to see players being confident enough to play that ground target with the Euls coming out. It is actually a lot harder than you might think. And if you play any pub games, you'll know that those sort of skill shots, if you want to call it that, get missed all the time. So right now, 7k net worth lead to OG, and pretty much that is mainly over on the supports, and the lack of net worth is really on this Collapse Magnus. He's gone for the mech and the 4-staff, so he doesn't really have any way to farm the map. Greater Treants are pushing top. The tier 3's under threat. Team Spirit, someone has to go back. Ember does. He's left a remnant in the river so he can get back to his team if need be. Yatoro picking up the Elven Tunic, but at the exact same time, Samael on the Tiny grabs an Elven Tunic as well. Will he actually keep that? No, the Spider Legs. Spider Legs are what? Oh, they see him come across with the Spirit. Where's he gone? Oh, TP just a little slow. BKB, Toronto Tokyo, he's out of mana. BKB is available, in comes the hookshot and the cogs, catches Collapse, Battery's Assault, just slowing him down. Whoa, right on top, they're cliffed, but the cogs push him out. Maposhka being caught on the backlines, 3-man chrono, BKB from Yatoro trying to get Seb down. Will he have enough damage? He will. But what will it cost him? The BKB is being used. Greater Treant's going to stop him down. Samael is hitting, but the RP comes out on 2. Yatoro with the cleave is going to do a lot of damage. Can Samael actually fight back? The Treants are there. Seb has brought back into the fight. Will provide something for Samael, perhaps a vacuum in, and the tree toss into the double kill for Samael. The damage that can come out from this core Tiny. This is why this hero is banned first phase in almost every single game. This hero is insane. But this game, Team Spirit were confident, they gave it up. Tried to pick the Wyvern for a little bit of a counterplay. And it looks like at the moment they're paying the price, because Sumail, top of the net worth, and he's living. The fact that he lives in fights like that is really, really beneficial for his momentum moving forward. And he's looking for moving into the lifesteal, the Satanic next. So he'll have lots of HP, lots of lifesteal, and he'll be just fine. Toronto Tokyo does clean up No-Tail, and as we talked about in the draft, potentially those Treants, when the cleave comes out with Empower, it's going to deal more damage over onto whoever's standing inside them. This top tier 3 though, down to 173 HP, and OG just straight into the fight. No hesitation. Samael buys back. He wants to give the Solar Crest over on the Samael. That's the main reason why he buys back it. Solar Crest immediately. Samael though doesn't want to get caught. He's brought back in. Clock. Overclocking. Misses with the second hook. Wall over onto the cogs. And Samael's just hitting from the side. All the cleave damage. No one actually goes down so far in Team Spirit. Toronto Tokyo is remnanting away. Curse coming out over onto Tiny. Thompson has catch Maposhka on the side. Cold Embrace will save him for a little bit longer, but not for long. And will Samael just go straight back into the pit? Buyback. Coming out from Wyvern. They want to contest this. They still have an RP and a Chronosphere. RP and Chrono are both available. Smoke up immediately. And OG realize that it's not going to be a wise decision to head straight back into that pit. Are they going to try to hide a hole? No, they're going to move back. No Tail's sort of just body blocking. Oh, the slide actually missed. Collapse does get the catch with the horn toss and skewer back into the whole team of Team Spirit. And No Tail will go down. He has no buyback, but the immediate smoke coming out from OG. It's not what Team Spirit is expecting. They know that No Tail has no buyback. They know that OG are aware of this as well, and that they probably aren't going to look to have a fight. But Thompson catches on the side, silence coming out on to Mira, and Line will go down. But he's now onto Mposhka as well. Samael hitting over onto Toronto Tokyo. BKB being forced out. Samael with the invis. BKB in 1 second. Hex over onto Seb. Dark's here. He's very important in this fight. He will live for the time being. Thompson just kiting around. Samael getting slowed by the mana drain. The fight split across on all sides. Yataro does find the pick. Slowly, Saksa and OG are slowly getting... They're being pulled apart. OG around the map. They can't focus onto one hero. Samael turns with the BKB. Will cleave down Mira. Can he get Maposhka? That would be very important. Yes, that's the two supports down. Samael might actually be able to turn this. He's very strong. Look, they can't do it. They know. Samael, he's looking for more. No Tail's in. Gives him the Solar Crest. That was a 5v1. And Samael just walks straight back in. This guy's level 25. That was a 5v1 and they could not stop Samael. That is how strong this Tiny is right now. Toronto Tokyo actually misses with the slide. He might not think they're in there. 2 seconds on the slide. Oh, catch coming out with the stun. Overclock, additional stun. Spider legs over the side. Toronto Tokyo will BKB and move away. So, Aegis being picked up. The shard, who will it go to? Obviously Tiny's already got his shard. Clock, Jetpack, I wouldn't think that's where it's going to go. No Tail's actually already got his shard as well. Thompson. Aha, the Dissimulate adds the outer ring, increases damage by 200. He's left it on the ground. That is who it's going to go to. Thompson now is going to be very, very mobile with that Dissimulate, and the additional burst damage is nothing to sneeze at either. So Samael just going to frontline with this Aegis. 4 minutes and 8 seconds left on it. Yatoro will show. And he's actually not under farm. Yatoro's got this Scud, he's got the Satanic, got the Elven Tunic as well in the neutral slot. He's actually quite farmed, but compared to this Tiny, 7k gold down. So that 7k lead is effectively all on the Tiny. So if No Tail, if Samael gets caught here deep in the base, he might be in trouble. He does have the second life. They catch Yatoro. They're going to use the Chronosphere immediately. Clock will stun, save him a little bit of life. He's got the status resist. He needs to get the BKB off. Can he do it? No, he won't. Samael gets caught deep in the base, and Team Spirit just get the chain lockdown. Seb, you're running nowhere, it turns out. And at the moment, activate plan B. Get the Greater Treants, and they're pinging it out. They know. Yatoro's saying, look bottom, there's Greater Treants. They're going to get the tower. They're just sending him in. Send him in. Send in the Treants. There is backdoor protection up. Send in the Treants. Send them in. No, they're all dead. So that was with the Aegis and the bonus shard out on Thompson for that fight, and they just didn't quite have enough damage. Thompson is only level 20. If he can get to that level 25, dissimulate stuns for 2 seconds. I mean, I don't think anyone takes the Astral Step crit. The stun is just too good. Team Spirit looking for a catch. Ground targeted stun does miss Saksa. with the catch, and the Remnant will actually take out Mira first. He's down for 75. Saxa looks to try and hook shot out, but he will catch nobody.
What's up?
But that was a 1-for-1 really.
What's up?
A 1-for-1 for that rotation, so Thompson did well just to get a little cleanup kill there. Moves up to level 21. Closer he gets to that level 23. I mean, it cannot be understated the power of this talent. The stun for 2 seconds. This is on a 11-second cooldown. So you got a 2-second AoE stun on 11-second cooldown that already deals 340 damage. I mean, is that plus the 200 already, or is it 540 damage? No, that's just standard. So it's dealing 540 damage AoE, and you get a stun on top of that as well. It's just it's a very, very strong timing. But looking over on the side of Toronto Tokyo, he has the Ags and the Refresher, plus the level 25 talent of the 2 Slide Fists. So Toronto Tokyo has hit the late game timing significantly faster than Thompson on the Void Spirit. So right now this Ember Spirit can pretty much clean up the backline solo. No Tail and Saxa have to be very, very careful. They can go down quite easily. 425 skewer range over on Magnus, so he can pretty much pull them halfway across the map with that skill. And they look for the smoke. All spells are up apart from the Winter's Curse. They're full stuffing in, trying to get the catch over on a No Tail. Horn Toss with the skewer, and Yatoro will finish the job. Not sure that OG want to try and make something happen here. No Tail down for 40s. Obviously not a huge part of the team fight, but it's really the Solar Crest on the Tiny that makes the big difference. And of course, the split pressure on the map from the Greater Treants and the Nature's Call, just allowing them to pressure Team Spirit into fighting in places that perhaps they don't want to, perhaps trying to get out when they wish to. In comes the stun. Do they have the lockdown? They actually do. Yatoro goes from full to nothing. Toronto Tokyo now. Yuled up. He does have a BKB and all the remnants. He will pop it with the Refresher. Pop again. Saxa is just feeling the wrath of Toronto Tokyo. Meanwhile, Maposhka won't get out. And I have to say, that was excellent play by Saxa. He drew the attention of Toronto Tokyo the entire fight there. And I have to say, this Refresher with the Ags, the first reveal, not terribly impressive. I've seen that reveal of those 2 items probably just clean up entire teams. So the fact that all those remnants were pretty much just going onto one hero, Sumail. Oh, he knows Mira's around. Buyback coming out from Maposhka. Collapse, gets the Horn Toss again. He skewers him back deep into the base. This is what happened last time. This time he doesn't have an Aegis. But there is no Void. He gets skewered again. He has the Satanic. Oh, he buys the Ghost Scepter. And No Tail will go down in the base. OG decided that it's not worth hanging around. He does get caught. Thompson, he's got no more Astral Step charges. He's hexed up. Dissimulate. Moves him away. Gets the silence and the call. Jumps to the north side. If nothing else, this is buying time for No Tail to respawn. Another Dissimulate into the trees. Just using the vision. But the long range of the collapse. Skewer plus the Horn Toss will find him. Now that is pretty much the definition of space right there. Roche is not yet up. So really, Team Spirit, despite how good a play that was to get Sumail all the way deep into the base, they're probably going to get a tier 2 from this, and that's about it. Glyph will be up in 17 seconds on the side of OG, so the high ground should be safe. Double Catapult Wave is coming in, and Glyph is available on the side of Team Spirit, so they can counter Glyph the wave if necessary. Glyph is up, they will use it. Counter Glyph going to come out? No. Will the catapults go down? Yes, they will. Surprised there was no counter Glyph from Team Spirit there. I guess they're just being a little bit cautious about keeping their glyph up, knowing that there's a Tiny on the other team, and without a glyph, Tiny can pretty much take your base in seconds. And when I say seconds, I'm not exaggerating. Literal seconds. Roche, respawn in 2 minutes 36. There's still a while for the big boy to come back. Greater Treants, pushing them back, top lane, getting a little bit of damage, and OG will smoke up. Sumail leading the way yet again with the Silver Edge. Not under the cover of smoke though. So he will probably show on a lane. He's got to be careful. If he gets horn tossed into the skewer, he will move a long way back.
Do it with flair.
I mean, there's an Octarine core up on Collapse, so that is how he can get those skewers consecutively. 6.8 second cooldown. Horn toss, 22.5. Shockwave, 7.5. So he can use those cooldowns to continue a chain stun back towards their team. And of course, if he has a little bit of assistance, perhaps a Mirror Hex or stun in between there as well, he can get that next skewer and pretty much move anyone on the side of OG significantly out of position. And it's very hard for OG to actually catch up to that movement, particularly if it's inside the base. Toronto Tokyo looking for the Shiva's Guard next, looking to try and survive a little bit against this Tiny wailing in onto him. Yatoro does have the butterfly, and actually Team Spirit now with a 2k net worth lead. Nature's Prophet Treants though in the base, they're going to take them the range racks, and they're going to move on to the melee. They know that Team Spirit is not in the base. They know that there's no one home because they would be defending right now, so they're out smoked on the map. Toronto Tokyo goes back. He has probably left a remnant behind, I would guess, in case he needs to get back quickly. Here it is here next to the river, so the remnant is there. Remnant is up for not long, about another 10 seconds. — 15 seconds, rather. He does use it to come back. Toronto Tokyo close to level 30 actually. The horn toss catches, but the stun follow up to get rid of the chain lockdown, but the two members will get caught immediately. Toronto Tokyo will pop, but the wall comes out a little bit out of position. They're not actually going to fight around the wall. OG looking a little flustered right now. Buys back onto Saksa and onto Thompson. They now have to play a little bit scared. Collapse gets two of them. He gets him again with the RP. Saksa comes in to break the chain stun. But Sumail's gone. This could just be the game. Thompson has to get out. Somehow has to live. Collapse is still on the hunt. He's got a blink in too. He's going to get him. And the Chrono with the follow-up. Collapse. My goodness. This man on the mag. I tell you what, they banned out the Collapse Mars, but they didn't get the Magnus. And look at what this man can do. He's just catching them everywhere over the map. With the gem, easily able to get on top of Thompson there. Now, Sumail is back, but what's he going to do? No-Tail's been caught. You just can't show anywhere. Sumail blinks in, but immediately the Winter's Curse comes out, and he's all alone. What's he going to do? He can pop the Satanic, but he is dead, and that will be the GG's coming out from OG. Game 1 in this best of 3 elimination lower bracket match, going to Team Spirit over the two-time reigning champions OG.